Good afternoon, Rampage family. Welcome back to Game 3 of the weekend. Today's games. We've got 2 games today, but this first one here is lined up against the Seattle Jr Kracken. And then later tonight, we are lined up against the Omaha Mastery. So Rampage coming off of a tough loss last night in overtime. Especially tough because between you and me, I believe we played much better than the team we played against, and we just couldn't get it done in the end. So that was a little disappointing, but hopefully the boys shake it off, learned a little something, and are ready to go again for today. It's going to be a busy afternoon with 2 games and not a long break between them. So hopefully the boys got lots of jump, got good rest last night, and hopefully are just ready to go. This goes without saying, but I'd really like to see some good hockey out of our boys today. So I think they could use a little bit of no kidding good hockey played to build a little confidence going into next weekend. Because as I mentioned before, next weekend's going to be tough matchups, tough teams. Just want the boys to go in strong like we always do. I'm going to try to preserve my voice a little bit in the in-between times today. Since I got 2 games, I'm going to try not to lose my voice before the end of the next one. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We got just about 36 seconds left of time in the warm-up, and then we'll get going period number 1. Just be careful. Somebody spilled some hot chocolate or something right there. So.
In the wrong spot, we yell.
No, I like it. At each other, usually.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting the podcast, but just what you guys talk about. You never think about that, Paul.
Well, if you would have asked me, if you would have asked me about that one, the other one, the time, it was not me.
See, the thing is typically we concur on those points, so it's,
Sometimes we make up names for you every week. Like Air Force One, what do you think about that? Trixie. What about Trixie?
When you get Air Force One and I get Trixie.
I know, I definitely got the better end of that deal.
Oh, you do? Yeah, that would be. This week she's going to be there. Oh, yeah.
I got you.
Oh, yay!
All right, warm-up time completed. Boys over by the bench, getting ready to go. Let's see who we got lined up to get us started for period number 1. Out on the ice, I am seeing Drexel, Dormer, Freitas, Butler, and White. Mr. Liam Holmes in net today. All right, period number 1. Here we go. Rampage won the draw. White's got it on the far side. Sends it up off of the stick into the... I thought it went off of the stick, but apparently not. So we get a whistle for icing. Face-off's going to come back into the Rampage zone. 16:53 left in period number 1. Tied up on the draw. Gets poked back into the corner. White over to the near side corner. Butler's going to get there. Dormer's there as well. Up the near wall. Back to Dormer. Dormer's out of the zone. Off the wall. Kracken coming back the other way. Butler back into the zone. Chips it up off the glass to the point, and now it's going to come out. Drexel gets there. Wrangles it in. Drexel's into the zone. Uncontested. Shot taken. Goaltender makes a save. Kracken back through the zone on the near side into the Rampage zone. Bennett picks it up down low, feeds it to the outside out of the zone. Kracken turn it around. A little back and forth at neutral. Rampage going for a change. Kracken into Rampage zone. Send a puck across to the far wall. Banyan sends it back down. Bisley gets there, skates it to the near side, chips it up the wall on the near side, and now he's going to bat it over to Banyan. Banyan looking for Bisley. Poke, and then Whitted's going to send it into the zone. Kracken goaltender holds it up. Sent to the far side wall. Fewer skates it down into the zone. Looks like Kracken have the puck back. They're down low. They're going to turn around, send it up the far wall, and out. Flanagan in off the bench. He's going to dump it into the zone, and now it comes right back out again. Espirito over to Fewer. Puck into the Kraken zone. That should be icing, and it is. 15:26 left in period number 1. Face-off will be back in the Rampage zone. On the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Espirito, and Fewer. Bouncing around out front. Sarver's going to skate it up and out of the zone. He's on the far side. He's into the Kraken zone. Quick move. Sarver with the shot. Goes off the goaltender, ends up behind the net. Puck up and out of the zone. Butler's there, tied up on the near side wall. It comes back to Judkins and then over and ekes into the Kraken zone. Pass doesn't connect, and we get a whistle for icing. 14:56 left in period number 1. Face off in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Rahojan, Foster, Roberts, White, and Butler. Puck comes up to the point to Butler. Down the hall to Rahojan. Turn fired. Goaltender makes a save and then is able to cover it up. Puck goes to the far wall, gets chipped up and out of the zone. White has to come back into his own zone for it. He's going to set up behind his own net, sends it up the near side wall, held in the zone. Now it's going to come off the wall and get poked out to neutral. Back into the Rampage zone. Butler's going to pick it up on the near side. Skates back, makes a move in the corner. He turns, looks, going to send it up the wall, doesn't connect, and I think that's going to be icing. And indeed it is. So 14:20 left in period number 1. We'll have a face-off back in the Rampage zone. On the ice, Freitas, Drexel, Dormer, Bennett, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw. Bennett's going to pick it up, turns around, skates to the far side, sends it up and out. Dormer turns around. He's going to get there. Poked into the corner and ends up on the near side. Freitas doing battle down low. Still back. It's going to come up to Bisley at the point. Takes a shot, goes off to the player. Dormer picks it up on the backhand. And with exactly 14 minutes left in period number 1, Rampage go up by a score of 1-0 on the backhand bouncing goal by Gavin Dormer. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Whittingham, Whitted, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck into the Rampage or the Kraken zone. Banyan with the shot. Goaltender makes the save. He's going to hang on, and we'll get a face-off in the Kraken zone. Rampage win the draw. Quick shot by Whitted. Doesn't go anywhere. Body's in the way. Out to the near side wall. Down into the corner. Whittingham's down there. It's going to come back out to the near side wall. Kraken flip it up in the air. It comes out of the zone. Then it over to Bisley. Bisley's going to skate it up. He sends it into the Kraken zone. Ends up back behind the net. Up the wall on the far side. Not out, or just gets poked out of the zone. Kraken comes back the other way. They've got numbers. Pass gets deflected down low into the corner. Whitted picks it up and turns it, sends it across, looking for Whittingham to steal. Shot gets deflected up and over. Out to the corner on the far side. Centering pass, and it's going to come up to Tommy Flanagan, who's going to turn, skate out of the zone with it. Takes the red line up the near side. Flanagan makes a move, shoots it up and over. Puck ends up on the near side wall. Up and out, and it looks like it's got enough for icing. So we get a whistle. Face-off will be back in the Kraken zone. 12:47 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Judkins, Flanagan, Butler, and White. Puck ends up down low in the corner. Sarver goes in to tie things up. Judkins comes to help out. Sends up to Butler at the point. Makes a move with the point, skates down the wall. Puck tied up on the wall. Ends up down low, back behind the Kraken net. They send it to the far side, up the wall, but not out. Shot from the point by White, goes up and over, ends up on the near side. Kraken out of the zone now, into the Rampage zone on the near side. Poke down low into the corner. Butler sends it around to White on the far side. Puck comes up and out, and they're waving it off. Play will continue. Sarver gets in there first. Tries to bring it out of the corner. Gets a little stuck in the ditch. Back to Sarver. Sarver sends it down low. Puck bouncing around out front. And Kraken just cleared the zone. Bisley's going to dump it. Robertson on the forecheck. Kraken pick up the puck. They're going to chip it back into the Rampage zone. I don't think this has enough for icing. Play will continue, and we have a penalty coming. Penalty coming to Zach Roberts for it happened behind the play. I honestly didn't see it, but kind of 11:38 left in period number 1. Rampage will be on the penalty kill for the first time today. I think you just said rough. Yeah. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Whittingham, Bisley, and Bennett to get us started on the PK. Puck goes down low in the corner, rimmed up the boards, up and out. Whittingham's going to be in the zone on the hunt. Kraken pick it up behind their own net. They're going to regroup. Cross to the near side. Dumped into the Rampage zone. It's going to rim around the boards to the far side. Back down in the corner on the far side. Back up the wall. Deflected off the stick, comes up to the point. Kraken send it across. Doesn't come out. They're going to skate it down the wall on the near side. Tied up down low. Butler gets there. He's going to backhand it hard. It goes up into the Rampage bench and out of play. 10:55 left in period number 1. 1:17 left on the penalty kill. We'll get some fresh PK skaters out on the ice. We've got Banyan, Judkins, White, and Butler. Puck back. Butler sends it hard around the boards up to the point. Kraken have it. They're going to skate down the wall on the near side. Hold at the wall. Sent down low. Pass up front. Shot goes wide of the net. Ends up on the far side. Judkins gets in there. Turns around. He's going to clear it the distance. Nice hard work and penalty killing by Michael Judkins. Puck goes to the far side. Sarver with the poke check keeps it from advancing into the zone. Kraken have to tag up. They're going to chip it in now. Down low, into the corner. White sends it to the far wall, and now he's going to turn and clear up the distance. 26 seconds left on the penalty kill. Sarver pulls it off the wall on the near side. Back to Flanagan, takes a shot. And now goaltender's going to cover it up. Sarver was looking for the rebound. 16 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Rampage. Out on the ice, we've got Freitas, Dormer, Bisley, and Bennett. Up to the point, but not quite out, at least not yet. Freitas is going to wrangle it back in. He skates out to neutral ice. Drops it for Bennett. Bennett across to Bisley on the far side. Bisley up the boards for Freitas. Rampage are back in full strength. Freitas takes a shot, goes up and over, ends up on the near side boards. Up to Bisley. Bisley takes a shot, goes wide of the net. It's going to rim up and out of the zone on the far side. Bennett's going to turn with it. Pass up. It deflects off a stick into the Seattle zone. Play will continue. Dormer in on the forecheck. He wrangles in the puck and sends it out front. Nobody home. Through neutral into the Rampage zone. The shot deflects up, ends up in the near side boards. Dormer sends it back for Espirito, back to Dormer. Dormer sends the pass across for Fuhrer. Fuhrer picks it up on the backhand. He's going to chip it off the wall into the Seattle zone. Robertson on the forecheck. Puck comes up. Espirito holds it. Regroups at neutral ice. Rampage tag up. Espirito's going to send it in to the far corner. Puck back behind the Kraken net, and now it deflects up in the air, bounces back down low. Still bouncing around in the zone for right now. Rahojan sends it down low. Up the boards on the near side. Comes out. Rahojan wrangles it in. He backhands it across for White. White up the boards for Roberts, off his stick. He's going to go for a change. White picks it up, waiting for Rampage to tag up. Butler skates through. He's in the zone. Quick poke check sends the puck to the far side boards. Puck gets fed out front. Just can't quite get a stick on it. Still down low in the corner. Comes up to Butler at the point. Shot from up high goes high and wide and ends up in the far corner. Rahojan's down there doing battle up against the boards. Whitted picks it up, drives it down low, backhands it, looking for somebody out front, doesn't connect. Kraken send it. Butler pulls it out of the air to Whitted. Whitted makes a move down low for Whittingham, tries to get a shot off, deflects wide of the net. Bannion's in the far corner now. Kraken pick up the puck behind their net. They turn and send it. Bisley's going to knock it down, pick it up in his zone. Stretch pass for Whittingham. Whittingham's into the zone. Drives down low. It ends up in the far corner. Tied up on the far wall. Kraken off the wall now. They're up and out of the zone. Pass across into the Rampage zone. Tied up on the near side boards. Comes down to Bennett. Bennett sends it up the boards. It hits the netting. And we get a stoppage. 7:05 left in period number 1. I know. I like to keep the terrorists guessing. Yeah. That way I can't be poisoned if they never know what cup I have. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Bisley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw over to the far side to Bennett. Bennett up the wall to Flanagan. Flanagan makes a move at neutral ice. Over to Judkins on the near side. Judkins turns, shoots. Goaltender got a piece and ended up in the far corner. Sarver sends it through the crease to the near side wall. Kraken send it up out of the zone. Bisley's going to dump it back in. Rampage after tag. Puck bounces up to the blue line. Judkins holds it in, keeps it down low. Sarver doing battle, tries to give it back to Judkins, comes up to Esperito, shot taking, goaltender makes a save. Puck comes up the wall to the far side, Kraken into the zone, down into the corner, tied up. Fewer is in there. Judkins comes in to help out. Puck goes up and comes out of the zone. Flanagan's going to go for a change. Actually, the whole forward line is going to go for a change. Kraken send it up the near side, chip it into the Rampage zone. Esperito comes back for it. He's going to pick it up, drops it other direction. Kraken with the quick steal and an unfortunate turnover in front of our net. And Kraken are going to tie it up at 1 with 5:59 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, White, and Butler. Foster with the steal. He's into the zone. Quick shot. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. 5:52 left in period number 1. We're going to face off on the Seattle side. Puck comes around to the far side boards. Turnaround, steal by Butler. He's into the zone. Rahosian picks it up. He takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. There's a rebound to be had.
Oh.
And the puck comes up to Butler at the point. Sends a shot from up high. Bounces around to the far side. White sends it down the boards. Puck back behind the net. Roberts is there to pick it up. Up to Rahosian. Rahosian wrangles it back in. Shot taken. Goaltender has a save. We get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Kraken zone with 5:22 left in period number 1. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Banyan, Whittingham, Bennett, Bisley. Puck goes down into the corner, up the near side wall, up and out of the zone. Kraken have it. Across the red line into the Rampage zone on the far side. It's going to go down low into the corner. Whitted gets there, pokes it back behind the net. Kraken center it up top. Shot taken, bodies in the way. Ends up on the far wall. Cleared up and out of the zone. Not enough for icing. Banyan's in on the forecheck. Kraken sending around to the near side boards. Comes up to Fewer with the takeaway. He's going to dump it back into the zone. Sarber's in on the far side. Drives it down the wall. Makes a quick move off the wall. Tries to feed it to center. Bouncing around. And Kraken are going to pick it up, but not out. Flanagan sends it down the wall on the near side. All tied up down low. Comes up and out of the zone. Esperito's going to wrangle it in. Over to Fewer on the near side. Little back and forth. Fewer's going to skate it in and then chip it into the zone down low. Put rims around the boards to the far side. Judkins picks it up to Flanagan. Shot taken. Goaltender with a save. Puck goes across to the far side. Esperito turns, fires it into the zone. Puck off the boards to the near side. Butler's there to pick it up. He's going to skate up the near side boards. He's into the zone. Quick move, shot taken. And that one goes off the iron and in. 3:49 left in period number 1. Rampage go up by a score of 2-1 on the unassisted goal by Freeman Butler. 3:49 left in period number 1. On the ice, we've got Dormer, Drexel, Freitas, Butler, and White. Back into the Kraken zone. They're going to send it across to the far side. And back again. Puck down the boards. Dormer over to Butler. Shot taken, body's in the way. Freitas picks it up down low. Sends it out front. Doesn't connect. Kracken coming back the other way. A little back and forth at neutral. Freitas pokes it away. Now Drexel's going to pick it up. Drexel skates to the far side, drops it for White. White makes a move on the far side, sends it up the boards for Rahojan. He wrangles it in. He's into the zone. Quick shot goes wide of the net. Foster gets there on the near side, turns with it. Puck tied up down low in the corner. A little back and forth. Kracken have the puck. Send it out to neutral on the far side. Into the zone on net. Puck on the near side boards. Out front, Bennett picks it up. Bennett's going to skate with it to the far side. He takes the red line, makes a move. He's into the zone. Brady Bennett takes a shot, goes wide of the net. Puck comes up to Bisley, pinching in. Can keep it in the zone, and now Kracken flip it up off the boards. It's out to neutral. Quick steal. Kracken are in the Rampage zone. Back down to Bisley. Bisley turns, chips it up off the glass, out of the zone. Kracken send it across to the far side. Vanyan skating in, just loses the handle and comes back the other way. Kracken dump it into the Rampage zone. It's going to go to the far side. Espirito turns with it, sends it up the boards to Vanyan. Vanyan off the wall, feeds it up. Kracken have it at neutral ice. And then Fewer sends it up out of the zone. Whittingham picks it up, sends it up looking for Whitted. It goes off a stick and into the Kraken zone. Whitted after it down low in the corner. Feeds it out front, doesn't connect. And now the Kraken skated up and out. A little back and forth at neutral ice. It's into the Rampage zone, tied up on the far side wall. Whitted sends it up and out. It goes on net. Play will continue. Rampage go for a change. Flanagan ties things up on the far wall. Still in the zone. Judkins comes in to help out. Judkins runs around the boards to the near side. Sarver in looking for it. Kraken turn and fire it out of the zone. Comes back to Flanagan. Back to White. White over to Butler on the near side. Butler up the wall for Sarver. Off his stick into the zone. Sarver on the hunt. Drives it down low. Judkins is in there as well. Battle for the puck, and Kraken send it up but not out. Shot from the blue line. Goaltender turns it aside, goes in the corner. Judkins ties things up down low in the corner on the far side. Kraken are going to turn. They send it off the wall, but not out. White sends it back down low, and the goaltender's going to cover it up. So with 34 seconds left in period number one, we get a stoppage. We'll have a face-off in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Drexel, Freitas, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw for the point. Butler with the shot. Goaltender with the save. Puck bouncing around out front. Kraken are going to pick it up. They clear the zone, send it the distance. I think this is going to be icing if it's got enough. And it just barely does. So with 23 and a half seconds left, we'll get a face-off back in the Kraken zone. It's kind of fun to say back in the Kraken zone. Kraken clear the zone just barely. Butler sends it over to Dormer. Dormer back into the zone. 11 seconds left. Shot deflects up and over. Kraken out of the zone. Freitas with a quick poke check. Drexel's going to take it away. Sends it down low, and time expires on period number one. So your score after one is 2-1 in favor of the Rampage.
Spicy today.
Yep. A little spicy.
Oh, that's so
So as we get ready to go into period number two, We've got time up on the boards. Coach is going to talk to the boys. I imagine he's going to tell them to settle down a little bit, keep playing your game. Right now, according to the scorekeeper tally up on the boards here, showing 19-2 for the shots on goal in favor of the Rampage. So I imagine he's saying something along the lines of, keep it under control, no sloppy turnovers, just keep playing our game. Work the perimeter, drive the zone, keep putting shots on. At least I would say something along those lines. But I'm not a coach or a player or somebody who even knows what I'm talking about. But that's what I'd do. Out on the ice to get us started for period number 2. We've got Dormer, Drexel, Freitas, Butler, White, and Mr. Liam Holmes in between the pipes. Rampage win the draw. Butler over to White on the near side. Pass across for Dormer off his stick into the Kraken zone. Tied up down low. Freitas gets in there. Skates back behind the net. Tries a wraparound attempt. Puck ends up back behind the net. Up the wall. White doesn't keep it in. Sends it back in and must have hit a Rampage player, and we were offside. 16:39 left in period number 2. Face-off just outside the Kraken zone. Rampage win the draw. White's going to send it into the zone. Ends up on the far side. Kraken back to the near side wall. Steal by Freitas. Up to White. Has to wrangle it in neutral ice. He turns, sends it back to Freitas. Freitas turns off of the stick, and now Drexel's into the zone with it. Centering pass just goes off a stick, and now not out of the zone. Drexel with the takeaway, keeping it down low. Off the boards, out of the zone now. Rampage got a couple of players changed. Kraken are going to dump it, and we get a whistle for icing. 15:59 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we have Banyan, Whittingham, Whitted, Bennett, and Isley. Quick shot, goaltender deflects it off the stick, up into the netting, and out of play. One more, just like before. Puck goes down low, it's poked out front. Whittingham with a backhand, and he's going to pick it up on the near side and put it in the net. Yeah, on the backhand. 15:51 left in period number 2. Rampage to go up by a score of 3-1. Same crew out as before. Kraken with the puck. Banyan in is going to try to take it away. Blows a tire. Puck stuck on the far wall. Whittingham's in the mix. Everything's tied up on the wall on the far side. Off the wall. Kraken send it to the near side. Out to neutral. Into the Rampage zone. Holmes holds it up, and we apparently have a penalty coming to the Rampage for holding is the call. But I didn't see it, and I don't know who it's on. Looks like it's going to go to Jack Banyan. Captain Jack going to the box for a couple of minutes. It must have happened behind the play. I didn't see it. But 15:59 left in period number 2. Rampage on the penalty kill. Out on the ice to get us started, we've got Judkins, Sarver, Butler, and White. Kracken in the drop to the point. Down the wall on the far side. Sarver gets skates in the way and now bounces back to a Kraken player. Shot goes off of Trent White and into the corner. Puck bouncing around. White's going to turn and fire and clear at the distance. Puck around to the near side wall. Sarver applying pressure on the forecheck. Kraken regroup behind their net. Through neutral, into the Rampage zone. Quick move made, and now a takeaway, and White is again going to clear at the distance. 1 minute and 16 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Rampage. Foster in on the forecheck. Kraken have it in their own zone. They're going to regroup behind their net. Through neutral, cross to the near side, into the Rampage zone. Lost the handle, and Foster's going to clear it up off of the backhand. Flanagan turns his motor on to apply pressure on the forecheck. Kraken coming back out the other way, off the stick, into the Rampage zone. White goes after it in the corner, sends it up the boards and clears it the distance. 43 seconds left on the penalty kill. Rampage getting a quick change, a couple of players. Puck bounces out front, Roberts with it. Roberts with the shot, goaltender with the save. Nice little short-handed opportunity. 33 seconds left on the penalty kill, 14:02 in the period. On the ice, we've got Roberts, Rahosian, Bennett, and Bisley. Tied up on the draw, goes to the far wall. Rahosian picks up his glove, and he's going to be in the hunt in the area as the Kraken come out of their zone. They take the red line, dump it hard. It's going to run around the far side. Bisley sends it up the wall, but not out. Kraken pass it off the wall. Shot goes wide, ends up maybe in the... They go into the netting. I just totally lost sight of it. But we got a stoppage or something. Face over in the Rampage zone. 13 seconds left on the penalty kill. Out on the ice, we've got Dormer, Freitas, Bennett, and Bisley. Shot from up top, body's in the way. It's going to fall. Gets poked back through. It's loose and bouncing around. Near side wall and gets sent up, still in the zone. Rampage are back at full strength. Drexel picks it up at neutral ice. He's going to turn with it. Sauces it across, looking for Dormer, and bounces towards the goaltender. Covers it up, and we get a stoppage. 13-17 left in period number 2. Face-off in the Kraken zone. On the ice, we've got Dormer, Drexel, Freitas, Fewer, and Espirito. Drexel picks it up, feeds it down low for Freitas. Tied up in the corner down low. Freitas is in there. Drexel comes in. Drexel pulls it out of the pile, feeds it across, looking for Dormer just outside the reach, and the net comes off. So we get a stoppage. 13:02 left in period number 2. We're going to face off in the Kraken zone. Down low in the corner on the near side. Everything's tied up. Drexel and Dormer are in the mix. Kraken pull it out, and they're going to skate up and out of the zone. Quick turnaround at neutral, and then Drexel's going to dump it back in. Dormer gives chase on the far side. Put into the far corner. Kraken pick it up. Drexel comes in to tie things up down low. Flanagan comes in to help out. Puck up in the air. Kraken off the wall, and Drexel's going to backhand it just wide of the net. Up and off the wall. And then White sends it down low. Judkins gets in there. Puck comes up the far side wall. Kraken with it. Send it up and out of the zone. The far side. Butler sends it out. Kracken have to tag up, but it goes up into the netting and out of play. 12:08 left in period number 2. Face-off's going to come outside the Rampage zone. On the ice, Banyan, Whittingham, White, and Butler. Kracken in the draw over to the near side. White chips it back the other way. Banyan's into the zone with it down the near side wall. It's into the corner. White feeds it down for Banyan behind the net. Banyan up looking for Butler at the point. It's going to go back into the Rampage zone. Whitted comes back for it. Whitted up to White, and it deflects up into the netting and out of play. So we're going to face off just outside the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, Banyan, Whittingham, Bennett, Bisley. Rampage win the draw. Banyan over to Bisley. Bisley dumps it into the zone. Whittingham's going to get there. Banyan gets there first. Centers the pass up to Bennett. Feeds it through. Goaltender makes the save. It's bouncing around. It ends up back behind the net. Ends up out front. Kracken with it. They hold up in their own zone to try to regroup. Kracken through neutral into the Rampage zone. Up to Bisley. Roberts up to Rahojan. Goes off the skate. Kracken turned back the other direction. A little back and forth at neutral. And now Bisley's just going to clear it. It's into the Rampage zone. Not enough for icing. Rahojan in on the forecheck. Kracken sent it hard. That one should be icing. And is indeed. 10:53 left in period number 2. Face-off will be back in the Kraken zone. Back in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahojan, Fewer, and Espirito. Up to Fewer at the point. Fewer sends a shot. Goaltender gets a piece, knocks it into the far corner. Roberts tries to get in there, tie things up. Foster comes in and clears somebody out of the pile, and we have a penalty coming to the Kraken. So with 10:41 left in period number 2, I believe Rampage are going to go on the power play. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Whittingham, Freitas, Dormer, and White to get us started on the power play. I believe this is our first of the day. Rampage in the draw up to the point to White. White down the boards to Freitas. Freitas across to Dormer. Dormer with the shot. Goaltender with the save. He's going to hang on. Just 6 seconds expired on the power play so far. We'll get another face-off in the Kraken zone. Same crew out as before. Down low into the corner. Kraken are going to turn. They clear it out to neutral. White knocks it down. He's going to turn and skate with it. White leaves it for Freitas. Freitas makes a move back this way. Into the zone, and Rampage are offside. 1:39 left on the power play. Out on the ice, we'll get a change of the power play unit. We've got Drexel, Sarver, Whitted, Flanagan, and Butler. Rampage in the draw. Butler over to Flanagan. To the red line, back to Butler. Butler over to Sarver. Sarver's into the zone on the near wall. Comes up. Whitted traps it on the wall. Up to Flanagan. Flanagan at the point. Back down the wall to Whitted. Whitted over to Butler. Butler with the shot. Goaltender with the save. Quick follow-on shot attempt. Ends up on the far corner. Whitted with it. He's going to turn in the corner with it. Feeds it up to Drexel. Drexel turns with it on the wall. Back down to Whitted. Whitted turns back down to Sarver. Sarver up to Butler. Butler over to Flanagan. Just bouncing, and it gets chipped out of the zone. Back to Butler. Up to Whitted on the near side. Whitted makes a move. Sends a pass across to Drexel. And puck gets cleared out again. Butler's going to come back for it and pick it up in his zone. Rampage getting a change of the power play unit. Flanagan to Drexel. Drexel into Foster. Foster sends it across. Flanagan down low to Foster. Foster sends it, goes off the goaltender, and ends up on the far wall. Sarber gets there, keeps it in the zone. He's going to dump it down low. He's going to go for a change. Foster ties things up in the corner. Battles back behind the net. Foster sends it off the side of the net. Roberts picks it up, feeds it up to the point. Quick shot from the point, deflects up into the netting and out of play. Just 18 seconds left on the power play for the Rampage boys. So far, we've had some good puck movement. We've been winning the battles, for the most part, keeping the puck in the zone. Just unable to put one in on this power play so far. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Foster, Rahosian, Bennett, and Bisley. Tied up down low. Rahosian ties things up in the corner. Kraken get there. They turn, try to fire, goes off of a skate, bounces up to Bennett at the point. Bennett down low to Roberts. Roberts back up the wall looking for Bennett. He makes a move at the point, turns, takes a shot. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. Just 1 second left on the penalty. Kraken are just almost done on their penalty kill. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Banyan, Whittingham, Bennett, and Bisley, making sure that they keep an eye on the player coming out of the box. Up to Banyan. Banyan feeds it down low for Whittingham. Whittingham out front doesn't quite make it through. Kraken pick it up, and then a quick poke check. A little back and forth at neutral. Whitted into the zone on the far side. Cross looking for Bennett. Bennett feeds it down low. It goes off of Banyan just wide of the net. It's a nice look. Puck bouncing around down low. Comes up to a Kraken player. It's going to bounce up and out. Bennett's going to pick it up back in his zone. Skates to the near side. Makes a move in his zone. Try to create a little space. Bennett sends it up the wall to Whitted. Whitted feeds it in for Drexel. Drexel feeds it across. Quick shot from the point. Goes off of the body, ends up behind. Whitted feeds it up the wall to Bisley. Bisley skates down low, back behind the net. He's going to come chase it to the near side wall. Sends it up the wall to Bennett. Bennett flips it towards the goaltender. Gets deflected, ends up in the far corner. Dormer makes a move off the wall, feeds it down low, bouncing around. Kraken get a stick on it, and now it ends up back behind the Kraken net. Freitas gets there, sends it up to the point. Quick shot from up top, deflected, and ends up out front. Kraken are going to turn and send it the distance. We get a whistle for icing. 7:21 left in the period. That should be the ice cut. So when we come back, I think they just figured it out. So when we come back, we'll have 7:21 left in period number 2. Face-off will be in the Kraken zone. Rampage are currently up by a score of 3-1. I'm going to go on mute and save a little bit of my voice for the second game today. All right, folks, welcome back as we get ready to start the second half of the second period. 7 minutes and 21 seconds left in period number 2. Currently, the score is 3-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. This first face-off is going to be in the Kraken zone following an icing call that led us to the ice cup. I think I mentioned before, but currently the shots on goal that were showing up on the board anyway are 27-3 in favor of the Rampage. And I never can tell for sure if that's right, but that feels about right. I think they've done a pretty good job of tallying shots. Boys over the bench getting ready to go. And we'll see who we have out on the ice to get us started. Fun fact that I've failed to mention before, that goal that Jack Whittingham got earlier today brings him to a total of 5 in the 3 games that we played so far this weekend. The young man is having himself quite a weekend. Out on the ice to get us started, we've got Drexel, Freitas, Dormer, Butler, and White. Rampage win the draw over to Butler on the far side. He's going to send it down the wall into the corner. Puck bounces out front. Quick shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck up the wall on the near side. White sends it down low for Dormer. Looks for Freitas out front. Puck comes up and out. Over to White on the near side. Off the stick into the zone. Freitas is going to give chase down low. Kraken send it up but not out. And Butler with a quick shot. Goaltender with a save. Tied up on the near side boards. Gets dumped. Rims around to the far side. Whitted drives it into the corner. Turns and looks to the point but nobody home. Butler's going to have to rush back for it. No icing. That came off a Rampage player. Butler up to Whitted. Off the stick. And then Kraken coming back the other way. Deflects off of the stick. Goes back behind in the far corner. White changes direction. Skates to the near side. Sends it up the wall for Banyan. Back into the zone. Banyan wrangles it in. Sends it across for Butler. Butler chips it into the zone of the near side corner. Kraken carry it to the far wall. Bounces up and off the wall. Pass deflects off the stick back into the Rampage zone. Bennett over to Bisley on the far side. Bisley up the wall. Off the wall. Whitted wrangles it in. Quick move. He's into the zone. Holds up in the corner. The far side wall. And he gets poked up to the point. Flanagan sends it back down deep. Kraken pick it up back behind their net. Sarver's in. Tries to feed it out front. Just doesn't connect. And then Kraken out of the zone on the near side. They're into the Rampage zone. Quick takeaway by Bennett. Sends it up, but stays in the zone. Kraken pinching in. Puck gets flipped way up into the netting and out of play. We're going to face off back in the Rampage zone. 5:33 left in period number 2. Looks like we're going to get a change of all 5. So out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Verhoeven, Foster, Esperito, and Fuhr. Doesn't make it out of the zone. Stays in. Esperito picks it up down low. Makes a move back behind the net to the near side. Up the wall. Bouncing around. It's going to come back into the Rampage zone to Fuhr. Fuhr sends it up off the boards. Comes out of the zone. And the Kraken are offside. 5:11 left in period number 2. Face off outside the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Freitas, Dormer, Fuhr, and Esperito. Rampage win the draw. Fuel over to Esperito on the far side. Esperito up the wall. It goes through and goes the distance, and I think, and indeed, we have a whistle for icing. 5:02 left in period number 2. Face out back in the Rampage zone. Gets poked up and now out of the zone. Kraken wrangle it in at neutral ice. They're going to turn and dump it back into the Rampage zone. Fewer gets there behind his own net. Skates to the far side. Puck ends up on the far wall. Bowman chips it up the wall. Kraken at the blue line. Shot deflects up and back and behind. Everything's tied up down low. Comes up to Freitas. Freitas over to Drexel. Drexel takes the red line. He's going to dump it in. Bounces out right in front of the Kraken goaltender, who's going to just cover it up, and we'll get a stoppage with 4:32 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Whitted, Banyan, Whittingham, White, and Butler. Back into the corner. Kraken pick it up down low. Sent the pass across, bounces off a couple of sticks. It's going to go the distance, but play will continue. Butler gets down there. Whitted picks it up, goes off of a body, and back out to neutral, and then into the zone. Rampage have to tag up. Sent over to the far wall now. Put just outside the zone. Kraken wrangle it in there into the zone one-on-one. And towards Holmes, who makes a save. Puck ends up in the corner. Over to the near side. Banyan tries to get there. Looks like back behind the net now. And Butler gets taken down, and we have a penalty coming to the Kraken, I believe, for a trip. That is just like 3:45 left in period number 2. We get a Rampage power play. And out on the ice to get us started on the power play, we've got Freitas, Banyan, Whittingham, Dormer, and White. Puck goes down low. Whittingham picks it up. Skates to the near side, up to Dormer at the point. Across to White. Over to Freitas. Back to White. White takes a shot from up top. Goaltender makes a save. It goes to the far wall. Freitas gets there. Skates it down into the corner. Back behind the net now. Tries to feed it out front. It's bouncing around. The goalie's going to cover it up. 1:41 left of power play time. .326 left in the period. Same crew out to continue the power play. Nice movement of the puck. Got the puck towards the net a couple of times. So far, nothing to show for it. Puck down low in the corner. Kraken send it hard around the boards, up and out in the distance. Play will continue as they're on the penalty kill. White gets there, sends it up to Freitas on the far side. Freitas turns with it up to Banyan. Banyan makes a move into the zone on the far side. Back up to White at the blue line. White skates to the far side point. Sends the puck in, goes off the body, ends up in the corner. White turns with it on the far wall. Up to Freitas up top. Shot taking. Goaltender has it in his glove. He's going to hang on. 1:11 left in the power play, and we will see a fresh power play unit out on the ice. We've got Sarver, Whitted, Drexel, Flanagan, and Butler. Rampage win the draw. Up to Butler at the point. Butler down the wall to Drexel. Drexel takes a shot. Goaltender makes a save. Sarver up, back up to Whitted. Whitted tied up, and it goes off the stick and out of the zone. Butler's going to pick it up in his own zone. Skates back behind the net to regroup. Sends it over to Drexel on the far side. Drexel over to Flanagan. Flanagan's into the zone. Drops it for Whitted. Whitted up to Butler. Butler over to Drexel. Shot taken. Goes wide of the net. Puck bouncing around out front. Stuck down low in the corner. 32 seconds left on the power play. Flanagan off the wall to Butler. Butler takes a shot. Goaltender makes the save. Bounces back behind. Whitted tries to center it out front. Puck ends up back on the back of the net. Into the near side corner. Whitted picks it up, feeds it up to Flanagan, back down the wall. Sarver gets there, sends it up to Whitted. Whitted skates it off the walls. Pass across, didn't connect. It's a good look. Butler's going to take a shot from up top. Puck bouncing around. Sarver just can't poke it in, and the goaltender's going to cover it up. And the Kraken are back at full strength. Out on the ice, we've got Rahojan, Judkins, Roberts, Bennett, and Bisley. Puck down into the corner. Tied up down low. Players everywhere, bodies everywhere. Bennett picks it up. He turns to the far wall. He turns around, skates it back into the zone. Puck goes down low. Rahojan tries to get in there to keep things down low. Kraken pick it up. They're going to change direction. Send it up and out. Bennett turns around and dumps it. Rampage tag up. Puck bounces towards the goaltender, who is going to cover it up, and we get a stoppage. We get a face-off in the Kraken zone. .116 left in period number 2. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Freitas, Dormer, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck goes to the far wall. Freitas sends it down low into the corner. Dormer ties things up down low. He has Freitas come in to help him out. Up to the point to Bisley. He takes a shot. Goaltender turns it aside. It's on the near side wall. Puck bouncing around out front, and the Kraken are going to clear it. And this should be... No, they wave off icing. Didn't quite have enough. Bennett picks it up. Sends it the wall to the near side. Comes up to Freitas. Freitas turns with it. He's across the red line. He's into the Kraken zone. Drops it to the point. Pass across. Just didn't connect. Kraken have it back. They flip it up in the air. Up and out to neutral ice. Tied up on the wall. Off the wall. Bennett feeds it through. It's into the Kraken zone. Bennett's going to give chase. Tries to center the pass. Back behind the net. Dormer backhands it out front. Just nobody home. Bouncing around into the zone. Fewer has to pick it up in his own zone. Skates up and out. Fewer makes a move between a couple of people. It's into the Rampage zone. They're offside. They have to tag up. Just 6 seconds left in the period. And the Kraken are offside. 2.7 seconds left in the period. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Foster, Sarver, Fuhrer, and Espirito. And time expires on period number 2. So your score after 2 is 3-1 in favor of your Colorado Rampage. Currently, the shots on goal are showing 33-4 in favor of the Rampage. I actually feel like we may have had a few more than what it's showing even. But the lopsidedness seems to be, it paints a picture. Hopefully our boys just have a whole lot of mo. For period number 3. I'd like them to finish this game strong and be ready to go for the next game tonight. minutes up on the clock. Out on the ice to get us started. Period number 3, we've got Dormer, Freitas, Drexel, Butler, and White. And, of course, Liam Holmes in between the pipes. Kraken in the draw. Stretch pass across. Stolen by Freitas to Dormer. It's poked. Doesn't go into the zone. Now Butler's going to dump it in. Puck down low. Freitas gets in the mix in the corner. Feeds it back behind the net. Dormer gets to the far side. Freitas gets back there. Keeps it in the zone for now. Dormer to Freitas. Freitas makes a move down low. Puck ends up behind the net and in the near corner. Up to Butler at the point. Shot taken. Goaltender has it. He's just going to hang on. It was 16:24 left in period number 3. We'll get a face-off in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Whitted, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. Puck goes back into the corner. Up the near side wall. Up and out. Kraken coming through. Send the pass across. Shot taken. Holmes with the save. Bounce way up in the air. Ends up on the near side wall. Back out to a Kraken player. Shot goes off a boot. Ends up back on the wall. Up to the point. Kraken dump it. And it's going to rim around to the far side. Bennett sends it up the far side wall. Goes back to the Kraken player at neutral ice. To the near side. Bisley turns it around. He sends it up the other way. And Rampage are going for the change. Kraken pick it up back behind their net. Puck comes back up and out. Kraken are going to dump it into the Rampage net low. Fewer gets there. He's going to poke it up the wall to the far side. Over to Sarver. Sarver skates and Rampage are offside. $15:26 left in period number 3. We're going to face off outside the Kraken zone. On the ice, we've got Rahosian, Foster, Roberts, Fewer, and Espirito. Kraken in the draw to the near side. Off the wall into the Rampage zone. That should be icing. And we get a whistle. Face off back in the Kraken zone. $15:19 left in period number 3. Same crew out as before. Puck ends up down low in the corner. Sent around to the far side. Roberts doing battle up against the boards. Keeps it in the zone. Roberts skates it off the wall. Puts it back into the corner. Puck comes up and out. And I don't know who it came off of. And they're going to say it's icing. $15:01 left in period number 3. Face off back into the Kraken zone. Rahosian, Foster, Roberts, White, and Butler. Up to Butler. Butler overlooking for White, and Kraken pick up the puck. They're going to send it across to the far side. Quick move, and they were offside on the way in, but nobody saw it. And I think we're going to get a penalty for tripping as Rahosian got a stick in the skates of one of the Kraken players, which never should have happened because it was offside before that ever was the case. But nonetheless, 14:47 left in period number 3. Rampage are going to be on the penalty kill. On the ice, we've got Butler, White, Whittingham, and Whitted. Up to the point, across to the near side. Shot taken, goes up and over off the iron and into the netting. So we get a stoppage. 1:54 left on the penalty kill. 14:40 in the period. Puck goes to the near side wall. Butler gets there. He's going to clear it. Whitted's going to give chase on the forecheck. Ties things up down low. Whitted picks up the puck. Turns with it. Oh, looking for Whittingham. Kracken stole the pass. Whittingham crashing in on the near side. Kracken turn around, feed it out across. Dormer's going to pick it up into the zone. Quick handle by the boards on the far side. Dormer pokes it back to White. White over off the boards to Butler. Butler's going to turn and just fire it down. Kracken pick it up behind their net. They're going to regroup. 1:15 left on the penalty kill. Puck up the near side wall. Comes up to Freitas. Freitas is going to dump it back in the zone. Dormer gets there. Down low on the far side corner. Dormer's going to keep things tied up best he can. It's 1-on-3. Puck comes back behind. Comes out. Freitas picks it up. Freitas makes a quick move. He's going to sauce it up for Bennett and neutral ice and lose the handle. Kracken come back the other way. Puck runs around the boards to the far side. Puck comes up and out of the zone. Kracken send it across to the near side. And now they're going to dump it into the Rampage zone. Back behind the net. Bennett sends it up the boards to the near side. Kracken pinching in. Shot. Holmes with the save. He's going to hang on. 27 seconds left on the penalty kill. 13-13 in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Banyan, Drexel, Bennett, and Bisley on the PK. Puck goes back towards Holmes. He sends it up, and then Bennett turns and clears it. Banyan on the forecheck. Kracken's getting with speed out of their zone. Lose the handle, and now Flanagan, pokes it. Almost had some room. Flanagan sends it, goes off of a skate, ends up down low in the zone. Kracken pick it up behind the net, center it out front, and then Bisley's going to turn and clear it. And that was Kracken are back at full strength, so they're going to blow the whistle for icing. 12:39 left in period number 3. The faceoff's going to come back to the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Sarver, Flanagan, Judkins, Espirito, and Fuhr. Bouncing around, comes out, still bouncing around out front. Sarver gets there, skates it out of the zone, over to Flanagan now. Flanagan's into the zone, fed it back looking for Sarver or Judkins. It ends up low in the corner, comes up to Espirito, and then now the Kracken are going to pick it up. They send the cross ice into the Rampage zone. Shot deflects wide of the net. Ends up on the near side boards. Puck rims down, goes to the far corner. Fuhr is tying things up down low. Judkins gets in there, and Kracken feed the puck across to the near side boards. Sarver pokes it, gets it not quite out of the zone. Kracken send it through into the far side boards. It's going to come up and out of the zone. Kracken have to tag up. Lost the handle in the zone. Sarver picks it up and just blows a tire as he's trying to take a shot. Johnny Sarver can be deadly from that point. And Roberts into the zone. Shot goes off of a skate, ends up in the far corner. Rahojan's there. Puck ends up in the near side. Back down low. Foster's going to pick it up in the corner. Puck comes up the wall. Roberts sends it back down. Now it bounces up and out of the zone. That's going to go the distance, and we get a whistle for icing with 11:13 left in period number 3. Face-off back in the Kraken zone. On the ice, Foster, Roberts, Rahojan, White, and Butler. Puck comes up to White at the point. Quick shot. Goalie just got a piece. It went wide and ends up now in the near side corner. Roberts is in there doing battle. Foster comes in to help out. Roberts pulls it out of the pile, makes a move off the boards, turns, shoots. Goaltender makes a save. Cleared up and out of the zone. White knocks it down. Backhands it up, looking for Roberts. Roberts tries to make a move, and Rampage are offside into the zone. 10:45 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Banyan, Whitted, Bisley, and Bennett. Rampage win the draw. Back to Bisley. Bisley's going to dump it in from the red line. Puck rims around to the far side. Takes a weird bounce, and now the Kraken are able to clear. Pass, gets broken up by Whittingham. Comes back to Whittingham. He makes a move. He's into the zone. Whittingham over to Whitted. Just doesn't get it. The one-timer was there. It was a great pass. Puck bounces way up in the air. Whittingham knocks it down. Keeps it in the zone. Feeds it down to Bisley. Bisley takes a shot. Goes off the iron. Ends up back behind the net. Bisley feeds it to the near side. Whitted picks it up. Makes a move. He's off the wall. Turns. Tries to take a shot. Deflects off the stick. Ends up in the far corner. Kraken coming back through. They're into the Rampage zone. Centering pass gets broken up. Puck ends up in the corner. Up to Whitted. Whitted out to Banyan off of a skate. And now Kraken are going to regroup in their zone. Rampage getting a change. Kraken dump it in on the near side. It's going to rim around to the far side. Puck back behind. Dormer wrangles it in. Sends it up. Freitas clears the zone with it. Drexel gets in there, gets a stick on it, pulls it out of the corner. Drexel sends it across, tries to center it. Kraken with the steal. They're coming back the other way. They're into the Rampage zone in the near side now. And Drexel with the steal, sends it off the boards for Dormer. Dormer turns, fires it, goes off of Freitas' stick. Kraken send it up out of their zone. They're going to skate back into their zone and regroup. Puck goes across to Freitas. Doesn't get much on the backhand. Puck bouncing around a little back and forth right there in neutral ice. Now Kraken are going to skate into the zone. And Butler gets a stick on it, and now it's going to clear up and out. Kraken have it in their own zone. Send it back up. They're into the Rampage zone. Poke check sends it up and out. And Sarver wrangles it in, and then that one's going to go. So Johnny Sarver gets redemption. Johnny Sarver. So with 8:35 left in period number 3, old Johnny Two Guns gets one on a nice quick transition to poke check and a lot of effort to pick up the puck, creating a little bit of a break going the other way. Mr. Sarver will bury that one, making the score 4-1. 8:35 left in the period. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Rahosian, Foster, White, and Butler. Rampage win the draw. Butler takes it up into the zone on the near side. He's going to skate down low into the corner. Lost sight of the puck. It looks like it's going to go to the far side there. Kraken have it. They send it back, trying to regroup in their zone. Pass up, gets broken up. Roberts turns with it. He's going to dump it into the Kraken zone. Puck down low in the corner. Back behind the net. Up and out of the zone. And Kraken are into the Rampage zone. Quick poke check. The puck is just sitting. Gets poked up to the corner, but not out. Or the point, excuse me. Comes up to Roberts. Roberts turns, leaves it for Rahosian. Rahosian coming through. He's one-on-one. A little bit of speed into the zone. Rahosian with the shot. Goes wide of the net. Comes from near side. He turns, fires it again. Goaltender has to make a save on that one. So Whitted on the far side. Shot. Goaltender makes a save. Puck bounces out front. Kraken sends it up and out. Whittingham picks it up off the wall on the far side. Sends it over to Bisley. Back to Bennett. Bennett wrangles it in. Sends it up. Goes through, and the Kraken have it in their own zone. Out to neutral ice. Bennett's going to wrangle it in. Sends it up the wall. Comes back to Banyan at neutral ice. He pokes it through. Whitted takes the puck away. He's in the zone. Quick move. Doesn't get much on it, and the goaltender's going to cover it up. 7:08 left in period number 3. Face off in the Kraken zone. On the ice, we've got Whittingham, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. Tied up on the draw. Up and out of the zone. Banyan over to Whittingham. Whittingham has to wait for Whitting to tag up. He does so. Skates in on the near side. Whittingham skates down low. He's back behind the net. Feeds it out front. Puck bouncing around. And Kracken gets sticks on it. They're out of the zone. They're going to chip it into the Rampage zone. Bisley picks it up on the far side. He turns with it. Chips it up and out of the zone for Freitas. Freitas is in. Over to Whitted. Whitted looks, go back to Freitas. Freitas comes back, gets hooked down to the ice. No call. Oh, no, we do. The ref back here. The only ref that's actually been making calls this game has it. Rampage have a power play coming up. Drexel to Dormer. Dormer sends a pass across. Goes to Freitas on the far side. Up to Dormer. Quick shot. Oh, goaltender makes a nice save. Drexel sends it up to Espirito at the point. Espirito sails it in. Oh, it gets... And Dormer's going to get it, which will indicate the penalty for the power play, excuse me. But Gavin Dormer gets the initial tip and then picks up the puck sitting in the blue paint. And with 6:04 left in the period, Rampage go up by a score of 5-1. That's Dormer's second of the game. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Judkins, Sarver, White, and Butler. Puck back into the Kraken zone. Rampage have to tag up. Kraken feed it back. Up on the near side, it doesn't connect. I think that's going to be icing, and we get a whistle. Faceoff will be back in the Kraken zone. 5:49 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Sarver, Judkins, Butler, and White, which I believe is what we just had before. Tied up, comes up to Butler at the point. Quick poke check, and the puck comes out of the zone. Butler has to wrangle it back in. Tries to backhand it, goes out of play. Face-off will be outside the Kraken zone. Out on the ice. Same crew as before. Gets poked into the Kraken zone. Kraken get there, and a quick steal by Flanagan. Down to Sarver. Tries to make a move. Goaltender waits him out. Up the near side. Judkins turns, takes a shot. Body's in the way. It's going to end up on the far side. White driving down low. Over to Flanagan on the near side. Up to Butler at the blue line. Shot goes through. Goaltender makes a save. He's going to hang on. And 5:16 left in the game. We'll get a face-off in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Roberts, Verhoeven, Foster, Bisley, and Bennett. 5:16 left in the game. Verhoeven up to Bennett. Bennett makes a move at the point. Quick shot deflects and ends up in the far corner. Foster goes in after it. Tied up down low. Foster trying to drive it back behind the net. Puck comes to the near side corner. Up the near wall. And now Kraken clear the zone. Roberts picks it up at neutral ice. Sends it over to Bisley. Bisley regroups, skates to the near side. He's going to hold up back behind his net. Bisley sends a pass up for Roberts on the far side. Roberts turns a bit. Feeds it through to Verhoeven. Puck ends up bouncing into the corner on the far side. Roberts gets in there. Keeps things tied up. Kraken get a stick on it. They're going to skate it up and out of the zone now. To the far side into the Rampage zone. Pass across. Nice pass. And with 4:17 left in the period, the Kraken get a second goal on the board, making the score 5-2. Out on the ice, we've got Whittingham, Banyan, White, and Butler. Score is 5-2. There's 4 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. Rampage win the draw. Back to Butler. Skates the red line and dumps it in. Bannion's in on the forecheck. Down low. Puck back behind the net. Ends up back in the near side corner. Up and out. Butler picks it up. He skates to the far side. He's going to dump it back into his zone. Kracken with the puck down low. Send it back up the far side wall. Pass goes off of a stick, and now it's going to come up and out. Kracken with a little speed on the far side. A centering pass attempt. White got a stick on it. Holmes still had to make a save. Puck up to neutral ice. Kracken regroup in their own zone. Send it up the near side. Goes off a stick into the Rampage zone. Play will continue for Whittingham. Whittingham skates to the far side, up the boards. Kracken with the steal, keep it in the zone. Kracken with a little jump here late in this game. Whitted turns, he's going to fire it. That's going to be icing. And we'll get a whistle. Face off in the Rampage zone. We'll get a chance to get a change of skaters. 3:16 left in period number 3. Out on the ice, we've got Drexel, Dormer, Friedis, Bennett, and Bisley. Oh, yeah. Tied up on the draw. Friedis is going to take it away. He skates out of the zone. He's through neutral, leaves it for Drexel on the near side. Tries to feed it back through. Goaltender makes a save. Puck comes up top. Bisley with a shot. Kracken with the puck. Comes back to Bisley. He sends it down the boards. Comes up and out. Bisley with the steal. He's going to turn to the wall. Turns around, tries to fire it. Kracken coming back the other way. And into the zone, offside. They have to tag up. Bisley sends it up the wall to Friedis. Off of his stick, into the zone. Friedis is going to go for a change. Puck up the far side wall. Sent in hard, and I guess it was a little bit too far behind the red line. So with 2:33 left in the game, we'll get an icing call and a face-off in the Kraken zone. Out on the ice, we've got Flanagan, Espirito, Judkins, Sarver, and Fewer. Oh, the puck goes towards the goaltender. He turns it aside. Kraken pick it up on the far side. Held up on the wall. Quick steal by Flanagan. Over for Sarver. Sarver makes a move. I heard the post. Just couldn't quite get it on net. Up to Espirito. The puck's going to bounce up and out. Kraken are into the Rampage zone. Pass across. Goes towards Holmes, so he has to turn it aside. The near side wall. I got you. Yep. Yeah, no worries. Puck still stuck on the near side wall. Down low into the corner. It's going to go back on the Rampage net. Fewer gets there. Picks it up. Backhands it. It takes a weird bounce off the wall. Comes back to a Kraken player. That's going to come up. Flanagan picks it up. He's going to skate it up and out. Flanagan into the zone. Sarver's up front. The shot deflects up off a stick into the netting out of play. So with 1:41 left in period number 3. Look at a face-off in the Kraken zone. On the ice, we've got Roberts, Verhoeven, Foster, White, and Butler. Tied up on the draw. Puck rims around to the far side. Butler gets there, but the puck comes out of the zone. Rampage have to tag up. Sit back into the Rampage zone. White sends it hard around the boards to the near side. Foster picks it up. Off the boards, back to himself. Comes out to neutral ice. Gets chipped back the other way, and now Butler's going to pick it up. He leaves it for White. White sends it up the boards on the far side to Roberts. Roberts is back in the zone. Roberts with the shot. Goaltender with the save. He's going to hang on, and we'll get a face-off in the Kraken zone with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the game. On the ice, we've got Whittingham, Whitted, Banyan, Bisley, and Bennett. Tied up on the draw. Woody gets it back, feeds it through the blue paint to the near side wall. Kracken get there, send it up off the wall, it bounces out to neutral ice. They're into the Rampage zone, pass across, goes into the far corner. Grizzly gets there, and quick turnaround shot. Holmes with the save. Puck comes to the near side wall, up to the point. Whitted looking for Whittingham. Everything's tied up at neutral ice. It goes back into the Kraken zone. Kraken pick it up in the corner. They're going to rim it around to the near side. Fed up the wall, off the wall, to center, into the Rampage zone. Shot taking goes up and over and ends up the near side wall. Ended up looking for Whittingham. Whittingham's going to clear it. That'll be icing. So with 28.8 seconds left in period number 3, we get a whistle for icing. Faceoff's going to be back in the Rampage zone. Out on the ice, we've got Friedis, Drexel, Dormer, Fewer, and Espirito. Comes to a Kraken player, tries to take a shot. Holmes with the save. Bouncing around, Friedis picks it up to Drexel. Not out of the zone. Another shot taken off of a boot. It's going to go to the far side. Dormer just loses it. It's in the Kraken zone. Kraken have it. Send it across to the near side. Comes out to Espirito, who's going to shoot it in on net with just 5 seconds left in the game. They are going to just kill the rest of the clock. So your score after 3 is 5-2 in favor of the Rampage. And we do not have a lot of time before our next game tonight, so hopefully everybody has a chance to grab a little something to eat, maybe sneak in a quick nap, and we will see you guys back here at, is it 6 something tonight? I can't remember. All right, thanks everybody.